Hola Seekers, I am Kim, and in this pick a card, we are going to find out what will happen or what will the energy be like within the next 7 days. Now, please do keep in mind that this is a timeless reading, meaning there is no specific date or timestamp to these messages. At whatever moment in time you decide to watch this video, the messages can still apply to you. So basically, we will be looking at the next 7 days from whenever you are watching this video. And in this reading, I will be using El Tarot, as well as some oracle cards. And at the end of each reading, I will pull out some messages from the note jar. So for this pick a card, we have 4 groups to choose from. Representing group 1, we have this stone over here. Representing group 2, we have this stone. For group 3, we have this stone over here. And for group 4, we have this stone. So as always, take as much time as necessary to choose your group. You can pause the video if you need to, and whatever stone here calls out to you, then that will be your group. And the timestamp for the groups are provided in the comment section down below. Okay, so now that you've chosen, let's jump into your reading. Let's go! Bienvenidos seekers who chose this stone. So in this reading, I'll be using El Tarot as well as some oracle cards. And at the very end of the reading, I will be pulling out some written messages from the note jar. Okay, so now let's get into your reading. As I connected with the energy of this group, a few words did come to mind, and those were rise, leave, and run. And actually, I also heard the voice of Disney's Princess Tiana in my mind singing, warning, I'm not a singer, there's been trials and tribulations, you know I've had my share, but I climbed the mountain, I crossed the river, and I'm almost there. So that might be relevant for some of you, but after putting all the messages we've received together, it does seem like some of you will be ending or coming out of or are coming out of a situation that has been quite difficult and arduous is the word that's coming to mind. Overall, it feels like the journey thus far has been a not so easy one. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the cards. So for the tarot cards, we have the Woodward, which is the Justice card in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. And we also have Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life, which is the Ace of Swords in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. And to clarify, we have Smithereens, Fragments of Memory. And we have the Ten of Pentacles, number 8, the Scythe in reverse. And lastly, we have Blossom. Okay, so starting off with the Woodward. This card speaks about justice, balance, and I sometimes associate it with karma. This card speaks to me about finally receiving what is rightfully yours. And then we do have the Ace of Arrows, and this speaks about revelations, communication, and clarity. Whenever this card comes out, you know that some truth is going to be revealed. So within the next 7 days, I definitely see something finally clearing up. You might be getting clear communication from someone in specific, someone that you have been waiting to hear from, someone that you have been waiting to get clarity from. And this could be a person who has Libra predominant in their chart or is a Libra sun, moon, or rising. Doesn't have to be, but if it is, this can serve as confirmation or validation because the Justice card does denote Libra energy. If this is not a person, this could be you hearing back from a place, a company, an agency, or this can denote receiving results or news in regards to something very specific. So, for example, receiving some test results, receiving the final decision in terms to a court case, finally finding out if you have been approved or denied to something that you have applied to, whatever it may be, once you have received this information or this communication, it will create some major changes in your life, because I am getting this earth-shattering energy, because we do have smithereens here and we do have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Now the 10 of Pentacles does talk about stability and security. The 10 of Pentacles reminds me of foundations and having built upon those foundations, something that is stable. So for some of you, this might be in terms to a business or career situation, or a personal endeavor or creative project. So like I said, if you have reached out to someone and you have been waiting for a reply, the news that you receive might not be what you were expecting. It might shake your foundations in a way. Maybe you had high hopes for this or high expectations. Maybe you were already making preparations that correlated with the response or reply that you were expecting. And once you finally do receive the communication, the information, or the reply, and find out that it is not what you had been expecting, it shifts your plan quite unexpectedly. So for example, if you were hoping to, let's say, partner up with somebody, collaborate with somebody, and you were already making plans for it, including them in your future plans, and then all of a sudden this person calls you back and tells you, hey, I won't be able to collaborate with you because this came up for me at the last minute, then that ultimately changes your plans, right? It just feels like something that possibly you weren't very prepared for, because we do have this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and it does give me an energy of something unexpected. The 10 of Pentacles also talks about the family life or the home. So there might be some important conversations that will be had with your family or with the family member. And in these conversations, a lot of truths will be revealed. But these truths will be very eye-opening. They will be, like I said, very earth-shattering in a way. They might change your perspective or perception of a person or of a situation. And it seems like it came out of left field. Again, it feels quite unexpected. And it does feel like this conversation or this revelation of truth does trigger more conversations to be had. So it's like somebody speaks up and that allows for somebody else to speak up, or that allows for more hidden truths to be unveiled or uncovered or brought to the surface. And it sort of feels like a domino effect in which one thing upon another happens, and so on and so on and so on. And it might feel like everything is falling into pieces, but with this Blossom card, I do get the sense of rebirth, of standing up again. After the fall, getting back up again. So know that whatever you feel has been shifted, changed for you, whatever you feel is falling apart, has a purpose. It doesn't necessarily denote an end of all things. It simply feels like there is a new direction that you must take, and this is the way to redirect you. So again, if it's in terms to career, business, personal projects, or endeavors, it does feel like there is something else waiting for you, or there's a new opportunity somewhere else, or it's like universe or your spirit guides want to redirect your focus onto something else that will bring you more fruition in the future, that has a higher potential to blossom more beautifully for you. If it is a situation within the family or amongst loved ones, again, I feel like this allows for the fog to clear, the smoke to clear. It allows for a fresh start. I know this is the 10 of Pentacles, but this is giving me major Tower card vibes. It simply feels like something that was not stable is finally falling apart so that you can create something new that will be stable. And I also get this energy of liberation and freedom. You might have been tied to a situation, an environment, or a relationship or relationships that weren't very authentic. I don't know why I don't like to use that word, but this 10 of Pentacles in reverse keeps screaming fake to me. Something that wasn't real. Something that was pretending to be something else. So, and you might have been tied to this. You yourself might have already known that this relationship, situation, environment, thing that you were associated with or connected to or tied to wasn't genuine. And that in itself was causing you a lot of pain and harm. It was suppressing you. And so within the next 7 days, this inauthenticity is finally going to come to light. And once it does, you will be able to be released from it. And that allows you your freedom to blossom authentically, to be you, to express your truth, to speak up, to let your voice be heard. Because this does give me major rebirth vibes. For others of you, this might be a journey of finding justice. And with this Ace of Arrows, finally getting that justice. And this can be in terms to legality, but it doesn't have to be. This can simply be you finally having the last say, you finally being able to communicate your truth, or you revealing some type of truth to others. Because the 10 does talk about cycles ending, it talks about closures. If this is you expressing a truth, if this is you finally being able to speak up or communicate something, I feel that whatever it is that you have to say will shake the foundations of the people around you. And like I mentioned in the intuitive message, I do feel like the journey has been quite difficult thus far, has been a tough one. And it is because you have had to push through illusions and tear away at facades. And that is not easy. Because as you can see, this woodwork gives off major warrior vibes. And this does give me an energy of making friends with your enemies, or finding that your friends were actually not really friends kind of vibe. Maybe this has been a journey of having to prove yourself is what I'm getting. But within the next 7 days, I do see maybe a little of tension in the home or in the family, a bit of unexpected changes or shifts in your career, in your plans, in your job. But it's not to say that it's all going to be doom and gloom, because we do have this blossom energy. So out of this, something beautiful will blossom. So like I said, a new opportunity, redirection towards something more prosperous, freedom, and the space to finally show up authentically. And we also have the energy of clarity. So that is something that you will also be getting out of the situation or receiving within the next 7 days. And I feel like if this is a redirection type of situation, you will be getting clarity on what this new path you are being redirected to is about. So let's say if you were waiting to be approved for a program, but you didn't, within the next 7 days, you will be shown or find out a program that is better suited for you, that is maybe more financially economical, that is maybe closer to your house, or just works out better for you at the end. It's more convenient. Yeah, because we do have the woodwork here. So this is about justice being served. So at the end, the outcome will be favorable to you, even if it doesn't look like it in the midst of everything that's going on. At the end, you will receive a favorable outcome. And for those of you who have been waiting to hear from, as I said, a specific person, if this is in terms to romance, I do see a clear communication coming through from this person, and they expressing their true feelings to you. And we do have this blossom card here, so I'm seeing this in a positive way. because I'm getting this energy of confidence, of standing in your power. So whatever they have to say to you, it enlightens you in some way and gives you the courage to also speak up, to also let your feelings, but it almost feels more like your mind. It gives you space to speak your mind. And I do feel like this conversation that will be had will kind of turn your world upside down in a way. It's not a conversation that you expected to have with this person, or what they have to say to you is something that you didn't really expect from them. But it really enlightens you about who they are at this moment, what they truly feel, what they believe in, where they stand in terms to this relationship dynamic, where they want this relationship to go. And at the end of all this, I do sense that you will feel a sense of liberation, like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders, because possibly you've been in your head wondering how this person feels or what they think about you. And trust me, they will be very blunt and upfront about it. And I do feel like it will be something positive, something that will uplift you in a way. Okay, but now I'm just going to pull out the messages from the note jar. And for this section, if you have a question, then you can keep that question in mind as I pull out some messages, or if you've been waiting to hear from someone, you can keep them in mind. And if it's not someone, then you can simply set the intention to receive a message from a spirit guide or your higher self, okay? So we will see. So I got these 2 ones. So let me put these aside. So for the first message, we have, "What labels me negates me," a quote by this person over here. And for the second message, we have, "Music is the language of the universe. Music is the language of my soul." Okay, so I will leave these messages up for your interpretation. Again, if you had a question in mind, or you were hoping to receive a message from someone, then apply these messages as you see fit. Okay, yeah, but that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance or clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye bye. Bienvenidos seekers who chose this stone. So in this reading, we are going to find out what will happen, or what the energy will be like within the next 7 days. And for this reading, I will be using El Tarot as well as some oracle cards, and at the very end of the reading, I will pull out some written messages from the note jar. Okay, so now let's get into your reading. As I connected with the energy of this group, the following messages came to mind, which were, "Above all else," and "We heard you." I also felt a tingling sensation in my mouth, which was kind of bizarre, but I immediately thought about speaking up. It more felt like you guys are eager about something, or will be eager about sharing some type of information or some type of good news. I also feel like Spirit wants you to speak up or set intentions. There is this energy of manifestation. Possibly you've been wanting to manifest something, or you've been working on your manifestation abilities, and Spirit is coming through to let you know, speak it into existence, speak it out loud, speak it to yourself until you believe it. If you cannot verbally communicate it, then write it down. But communication is very important. It helps with setting the intention, and it helps you become more assertive. And I also generally feel like there is something that Spirit wants you to begin manifesting or setting intentions for. It just feels like you doing this will help bring this along a lot faster. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the cards. So for the tarot cards, we have the Archer, which is the Chariot in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. And then we have the Four of Bows, Celebration. This is the Four of Wands in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. Okay. And then to clarify, we have floating life at this point in life, ups and downs. And we also have the King of Swords, number 47, the Bride. We have this one in reverse. And lastly, we have direction. Okay. So first of all, we have a major arcana. Whenever major arcanas fall out for a spread, it denotes an important phase or lesson or shift that is happening in your life. So the Archer is an amazing card to get because it does speak about forward movement and action. And we do have this direction card that is also giving me this energy of forward movement, having focus on something and moving towards it. It's also reminding me of narrow vision. And looking at this Archer, it does give me this very assertive vibe, being focused, being determined. And that is kind of the message we were receiving at the beginning, that Spirit wants you to start practicing being more assertive and wants you to start setting intentions. And that is exactly what I see you guys doing within this next 7 days. And we do have the Four of Bows here, which talks about celebration. I see it as a card of success, and I got the word wealth out of nowhere. But as you can see, we have the harvest here. So it reminds me of reaping your rewards. It reminds me of finding out that your hard work has paid off. And because we do have the Two of Cups here and these two people holding hands and celebrating together, for some of you, this might be forward movements in terms to a relationship or a partnership. It might be the case that you start off feeling like you don't know where a certain relationship is heading, where this business partnership is heading, whether it will be successful or not. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This can also be talking about a platonic relationship. Maybe you have recently had a disagreement or a fallout with a friend or a family member. And you're wondering, how is this going to turn out? Whether this relationship can be saved or what is going to happen next in terms to this. And I feel like within the next 7 days, things will be resolved. Because we do have the energy of celebration here. We do have direction. And with this floating life, we do have ups and downs. So you will be experiencing some ups and downs within the next 7 days in your personal relationships. And we do have this King of Swords energy in reverse. So the King of Swords is somebody who is quite logic-based, who is very well at communicating their thoughts, who loves to talk, loves to communicate, and who can be sometimes very blunt. And when this King of Swords is not being their highest self, they can be quite narrow-minded. They can be quite obtuse, very stubborn as well. And like I said, they're even more direct with their words. They don't really care or are not considering how the other person might take what they say. Simply, they're not very considerate of other people's feelings. And this might be the person that you might have had a reason falling away with or a disagreement with, and it's because they were showing up as this King of Swords in reverse. Now, we do have the number 47 here, and it's funny because we do have 7 and 4 here. So maybe it's the case that you have a disagreement with them on the 4th day, and by the 7th day, you make amends. Or you finally find out where this relationship is heading. You get some direction in terms to how this dynamic is unfolding, or how far you want to go with this person. Because with these rocks here, I'm also getting like you have created a lot of memories with this person. You have made a lot of promises with this person, and they've been building up. And this might be something that you will consider or contemplate within these 7 days. You might contemplate on all the good times and how they outweigh like the not so good times, or it might be even the opposite, because I am getting 2 messages here I know we have the Chariot and we have the Four of Bows, but for some reason I'm getting this energy of separation. It might be due to that disagreement or fallout at the beginning, but I do feel like some of you might actually consider not reuniting with this person. You're walking away from this person because, as I said, I'm getting this energy of building up. Like something has been building up, and it might even be like the times this person has missed out, the time this person has promised you things and didn't pull through, the time this person has been disloyal in a way or has lied to you, the times this person has hurt you. It just feels like you've been keeping track in regards to something. And see all these birds here? It's sort of like the universe wants you to pay attention to these, sort of like red flags. And that paying attention to these so-called red flags, you will be able to get better direction on where you want to head in terms to this relationship, whether you want to move forward or whether you want to walk away. Because with this Four of Bows celebration energy, I'm almost getting like you finally, after so long, deciding to end this relationship that wasn't very stable and feeling liberated by having made this decision and then celebrating with your group of friends. It's kind of reminding me of that picture of the actress who was married with Tom Cruise, where supposedly she's coming out from just signing her divorce papers and she's throwing a fist up in the air, celebrating that she just broke ties with this person. That's kind of the energy I'm getting with this Four of Bows. Like celebrating finally having moved away from this. The Archer does represent Cancer energy. So you might be a Cancer sun, moon, or rising, or have Cancer predominantly in your chart, and this might serve as confirmation. You don't have to be a Cancer, but if you happen to be, again, this can simply serve as extra confirmation. And the King of Swords is an air sign, so Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, and that might be the person that you are dealing with or the other person that we are referring to. The last message I'm getting with these stones is about wish fulfillment. Each stone represents a wish or an intention. So apart from this relationship message, I do feel like your wishes are coming true one by one. They might not all come in within these next 7 days, but I do feel like something that you have prayed, wished for, intended for will come into fruition within these next 7 days. And that will be like one of the first. And then more will start coming in the weeks to come. Because, oh yes, as I was pulling out the cards for this group, in my mind, I kept hearing 14 days. 14 days. So I feel like this energy is not only within the next 7 days, but it will last for like 14 days. We're looking into an energy of 2 weeks per se. So I do feel like blessings are going to start coming in. So that's why I feel like Spirit is encouraging you. Keep setting your intentions. Keep manifesting because you are on a roll here. This is like the perfect energy for your manifestations to come pouring in. So set your intentions right now because there is a high possibility that you will see them come to fruition in the coming weeks. But be assertive in regards to them. Don't hesitate. Don't hold back. State what you want and believe that you are deserving of what you truly want. Because with these hounds here, I'm also seeing it as your spirit guides. Your spirit guides are backing you up right now. You have a lot of spiritual support, not only from spirit, but from the people who are around you. Friends, family members, loved ones. They are here to support you. So if you decide to move forwards in regards to something or change a situation, you will be receiving support from both your spirit team and the people around you, your loved ones. So again, if you decide to move out of a situation, and this is not only like a person. This might even be like a job situation. Let's say this King of Swords is your boss or the person that you work with. We were talking about business partnership, and you find that this is not a person you want to continue working in, or this is not a work environment you want to continue being in. Spirit is telling you, be assertive within these next 7 days. Make up your mind and make a decision, because you will be supported and you will get guidance and direction in regards to what your next step will be. And remember that changes don't immediately come with blessings, you know. There's ups and there's downs, but there will be ups. You are going to build your way towards success, whatever success means to you, or towards your abundance, whatever type of abundance you're aiming for, or towards your dreams. But this is about you deciding to take the first steps towards the change. And I do feel like the majority of you already know what are the steps you need to take in order to direct you closer to your dreams, goals, aspirations, or to your desired outcome, your dream life, etc. But you've been holding back. And now is the time to be assertive. And I do see you guys showing up in that way, moving forward, making a decision, and celebrating your victory. By victory, I mean the simple fact that you decided to take action. That in itself is call for celebration. So if this is not action to move away from something, this might be action to move towards something. And again, Spirit is telling you, be assertive. Don't hesitate. Don't hold back. Don't downplay yourself, because the outcome will be positive. This floating life is just reminding me of like change. You know, change is so unexpected. And if you are the timid type, like you're not the one to, you know, make drastic changes or drastic decisions or big moves, like you making these big moves within the next 7 days will be so unexpected to yourself and to like the people around you, because it's something that you don't normally do. And again, keep these numbers in mind, 4 and 7. So if you happen to see this reading at the beginning of a month, then maybe the 4th or the 7th of that month might be quite significant. If not, then in the next 4 days or in the next 7 days, you might get some news, or you might make your decision, or some change will occur. Oh, and if you add 7 and 4, that is the number 11, which I personally associate with manifestations. Number 11 is a divine number for me. So if number 11 holds a significant meaning to you, then take that into consideration. Take that as your confirmation. But definitely, I am being reminded again of manifestations. This is a perfect time to manifest, to set your intentions, to create your dream life, because Spirit is backing you up right now. They are making everything possible for you. They are making all the moves behind the scenes necessary. All they need to do is get your approval. So they're just waiting for your yes, for your confirmation. They're just waiting for you to tell them what to do. What is it that you want them to bring in for you, or work with you to bring into your life? So set your intentions, okay, you guys? This might even be talking about that, like doing some witchy rituals, or manifesting with your friends, or manifesting with fire. Maybe some of you know how to do that. If so, be safe, you guys, okay? But now I'm going to pull out the messages. Oh, so for this segment of the reading, if you have a question, then please do keep that question in mind, because you might get an answer from these messages. And if you're waiting to hear from someone or wish to receive a message from someone in specific, then also keep them in mind. Set the intention to receive a message from them. And if it's not someone, you can also receive a message from a spirit guide or from your higher self. So whoever you're desiring to hear from. Okay, so I got one, and I want to pull out another one. This one. Actually, no, this one. Take out 3 for you guys. Okay, so let's see the first message. You are protected. Yes, that is what I mentioned before. You guys are highly protected right now. Open your heart, and when you do, think of me. And the last message is, our connection deserves more than a label. It deserves every expression. So I will leave these messages up for your interpretation, okay? Because these messages are for you. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye-bye. Bienvenidos seekers who chose this stone. So for this reading, we are going to find out what will happen or what the energy will be within the next 7 days. So this is a timeless reading, so the messages will apply from whenever you are watching this video. Okay, and for this reading, I will use El Tarot as well as Oracle cards, and at the very end of the reading, I will pull out some written messages from the note jar. Okay, so now let's get into your reading. So as soon as I sat down to start your reading, I looked at the clock and it was 11:11. So that might be a number you have been seeing often and it showed up for your reading just to give you a little confirmation, or this might be a number you will be seeing a lot within the next 7 days. And if you already have a specific meaning you have given to this number, then take that meaning, and if not, then please be mindful of the thoughts, feelings that come up whenever you do see this number. Or just pay attention to whatever you are doing or whatever you're talking about, because that will give you insight on what that number is trying to tell you. Okay? But as I connected with the energy of your group, or this group, a lot of different messages came to mind. One of them was, you will not be forgotten. Another message was, remember. And now I can't seem to recall the rest of them. They just came in so quickly, all at once. But at the very end, I did feel a warmth on my lips, which was a very strange sensation. So someone's higher self might be coming through to let you know that they miss you and to please not forget them, to remember them or remember us is what I'm getting, because it did feel like a very loving and intimate energy. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the cards. So the tarot cards are the Moon on Water, which is the Moon card in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And then we have, the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune in the Rider-Waite Tarot. Sorry, my hands are shaky. And then to clarify, we have, I don't know how to pronounce this one, Velikos, Dreams of Disappointment. And then we have the Three of Cups, number 1, the Sun. And lastly, we have Perseverance. Yeah, okay. Oh, so really quickly, this is Velikor. I'm probably still pronouncing. This word does signify the strange wistfulness of used bookstores. With this card, as well as the Moon card, I am getting this wistful energy of ruminating about the past or getting caught up in the past. Now, I do want to know how there is this beautiful transition here. We have winter here, the night, and then we do have the moon showing up here in the wheel, but then we have this transition into the sun energy, into light. So from darkness, we move into the light. So it might be the case that currently you guys are feeling pretty down, or like I said, you're ruminating about the past or getting caught up in old memories, and this is making you feel a bit hopeless, or I'm getting this energy of longing, of yearning, of wanting more, and also this vibe of possibly feeling left out in the cold, because we do have winter showing up here, and then we do have this message, dreams of disappointment. So some of you might be feeling a bit disappointment in regards to a situation. Maybe something didn't work out as you wanted it to or expected it to. I am getting this energy of feeling alone or being separated from someone or something that you truly wanted, yearned for, and loved or love. And that is bringing a lot of despair, because the moon can often talk about fears, most specifically subconscious fears, but I'm getting such a lonely vibe from this moon card. For some of you, this might even be the case where you think your feelings are not being reciprocated, or you expressed your feelings to someone and you didn't receive the response that you were hoping for. And that is causing a lot of sadness and grief. For others, this might simply be where you are in life right now. You are kind of clueless about what steps to take next. You feel alone in your journey. You feel like you've been left behind in a sense. Maybe you see other people around you succeeding or thriving or reaching their goals or doing what they love, and you look at yourself and you feel like you're stuck in the same place or like you haven't moved, because we do get this island here. And notice how there's like this bull here and he can't move from the island. He's kind of stuck here in a way, but all of these herons here, they're flying off because they have wings, so they can fly off the island. So again, there is that feeling of being left behind. And maybe right now or in the first few days, you will be contemplating about your life and maybe being a little hard on yourself, reprimanding yourself for not being where you think you should be. Or I got the message, wasting time. Maybe you feel like you have wasted time, but I feel like this is you really is wallowing the correct word. Wallowing in your grief and in your emotions, which are valid, by the way. And it's necessary to feel into our emotions, but it's sort of like Spirit wants to tell you to not take this so personally, because things are shifting around for you, because we do have the wheel over here. That's why I say this is such a beautiful transition, because it's like right now you're in this phase of the night, of the dark, of feeling low, of looking at the world or at the cup half empty instead of half full. Those dark emotions are simply surfacing up and you're kind of getting caught up in them. But this is simply a phase and you're gonna come out of it. Because again, we have the wheel here and we literally see how it shifts from night to day. And then we have the sun over here on this side, and the sun talks about joy and fulfillment of happiness, confidence, and victory. And we also have the Three of Cups here, which talks about celebration and community. It talks about friendship as well as the energy of joy. So with this perseverance card, Spirit is telling you, do not give up. Like, keep moving forward. Keep holding the light in a way. Keep holding vision of your dreams. And if you don't have dreams per se, if you don't have any goals in mind, if you don't know what steps to take next, as I said, if you feel like you're in mystery about what your purpose is or what your talents are, what your skills are, Spirit wants to let you know right now you're in the dark about it, but soon all you need to know will come to light. And this doesn't mean that you are talentless or you don't have a skill or you don't have a purpose, because you do. That's what I see with the sun here that is hovering above this bull's head. It's simply taking some time for you to connect with this, to see what this is. But I do see that you will get some type of revelation in regards to this within the next 7 days. And it might be through a community or through your friends. But this energy of the sun is mostly reminding me of hope. So right now you're feeling pretty hopeless, and the first few days you might feel pretty hopeless, but this energy will shift around. Maybe this is you reconnecting with friends that you thought had left you behind, or this is reuniting with people that you were longing for. Maybe like group 2, you had some type of disagreement, argument with friends or with the person, and you thought that this relationship was going to end here, but then you make amends. So whatever you think is lost, Spirit is telling you it's not lost. So keep persevering, keep moving forward. All they want for you is to not lose hope, because the feeling of hopelessness is terrible, and that really just keeps us down longer than we need to be. Because I see that the situation improves. If you feel like you're in a situation that's, like I said, pretty hopeless, or you've come face to face with some obstacles or a dead end, then again, I see that something will open up for you, like a doorway, a new opportunity, because we do have the energy of 1 here. 1 speaks about new beginnings. So again, whatever you thought had ended, that you were mourning and grieving about, I see a new opportunity for it within the next 7 days. And with the wheel here, this talks about destiny, fate, and fortune. So this is the universe working with you to create this opportunity, to create this new beginning, to shift this energy around. But in order to completely shift it around, they also need your help, right? Because this is a working with the universe. So they need for you to hold the light of hope, so that with that light, they can guide you forward. Now, we do have this egg here, and I often see this egg as a blessing or as your manifestation. If you have been trying to manifest something, this egg holds it. And the sun reminds me of birthing something. And actually, looking at the sun here, it kind of looks like an egg, like a yolk. So it's like your egg finally cracking open and you being able to see what's inside of it. If you feel like whatever you have been manifesting has been lost, like you lost your opportunity, Spirit is telling you, no way, Jose, you have not lost this. It's still here, you just can't see it right now because you are in sort of this hopeless energy, and maybe it's because right now it's not meant for you to see it. Because this is also giving me like a surprise party kind of thing. We want for this to be a surprise. We are holding the surprise party for you, and right now we're not letting you take any sneak peeks. But don't worry, because you will be celebrating. The 3 of Cups also talks about celebration. Celebrating your victory, celebrating you receiving your manifestation pretty soon. So don't lose sight of what you want. For those of you who have been wanting clarity in regards to something, you are getting it. We go from the moon to the sun. Things will be revealed. If you feel like something has been kept hidden from you and you've been wondering about that, again, this will come to the surface within the next 7 days. And for those of you who have been creating something, have been working on a project, but you kind of given up, because again, I get this feeling of hopelessness. And so either you completely decided to give up on this or you put this on the side. I do see you guys picking this project back up within the next 7 days and concluding it, because we do have the energy of 10 here, which talks about conclusions and endings. And then we have 18 here. 8 and 1, you add them up, and that's the number 9. And 9 is about tying loose ends. So I do see you guys finishing something that has been pending, that you've been putting on hold for whatever reason. But I mostly see that the reason is that you guys have not been feeling so well, and you've been feeling kind of low in energy, and it's mostly because you either been too caught up in your head ruminating about things, or putting very high standards and expectations on yourself, and instead of building you up, they've been tearing you down. Or you've been comparing yourself, like I said, to others and thinking that it's not worth it to pursue whatever you've been working on any further because it can compare to the achievements of others. That came out very specifically, but if that is the case, this mentality is shifting, because either universe will bring in some type of guidance, or they might bring in people who will encourage you to pick this up, or will encourage you to continue this, to move forward, to achieve your goals. And if this is not directly from people, it might even be indirectly. So to give you an example, let's say you have a blog and you've been writing on that blog for a year now, but you don't see much engagement. There aren't people commenting, and then all of a sudden you receive this long comment, sort of like a letter, telling you how they've been following your blog since you started it and how much you've encouraged them, how much they love your content, how much it has inspired them and maybe transformed or changed their life in some positive way. And that really uplifts you. That gets you out of this dark or low phase here and lets you see the positive side of the situation and gives you hope about the future. And that's what Spirit wants, because they do see a positive future for you. They do see progress here, because the perseverance does remind me of progress and growth. It does remind me of something promising. So this is telling you not to give up. And so that's why they are helping you with this. And they are, even with this wheel, I see like you will start seeing a lot of, maybe that's why we saw 1111. You will literally start seeing a lot of synchronicities, a lot of signs coming through within these next 7 days. And they are here to confirm that, yes, you are on the right path. Yes, you are doing amazingly well. Yes, you are going to thrive. You are going to succeed. There are going to be better days. And yes, your manifestations are on its way. And yes, the dream life that you have envisioned for yourself is waiting for you in the future. So get your little butt off of that hopeless mood, because your 3 of Cups and your Sun is waiting for you. Sun, S-U-N, is waiting for you. And we do have 3 herons here as well. So I feel like the number 3 is also quite significant. Maybe you have 3 friends, or in your group of friends there are 3 people and those are the ones you are most closest with, or there are 3 people who are really supportive of you, who you can really talk to. This might be 3 people you look up to, 3 people you want to connect with, or it might be you and 2 other people. But I feel like these people are going to be the ones who are going to help you. Or it might be 3 people that you don't know who indirectly inspire you and motivate you to move forward. Keep moving forward. Also, I do feel like you might meet some people during this time and they do feel like fated connections. So these might be soulmates, members of your soul family. And I feel like meeting them will kind of let you know that you are on the right path. You will immediately feel like, hey, things are going to get better for me. I am on the right path, because you will feel aligned when connecting with them. It will kind of be a reassurance for you that all is well and all is unfolding as it is meant to. And this message is simply, it's not to kind of reprimand you for feeling low, because we all go through that, but it's just to give you hope. Because we don't want you to feel like this energy is going to last forever, that nothing is going to improve, because that's not the case. So we're just reminding you here, hey, there are better days coming. You're going to see that shift within the next 7 days. So persevere, keep holding on. Hello guys, I apologize for this awkward insert. As you can see, there are no more cards, and that is because I have already finished your readings, and it was only after I put the cards away that I received this message, so I felt the need to share it with you guys. Within the next 7 days, you will have a lot of vivid and telling dreams. Some of these might even be prophetic. So please, if you can, keep a dream journal, or simply pay attention to the dreams that you are having within these next 7 days. Because Spirit, your higher self, or the higher self of your soulmates, will be coming through in your dreams to deliver messages to you. And these messages might help you in your waking life, or might hold information that will be helpful to you in the near future. And I feel like also these dreams will be very hopeful, very uplifting, and will inspire you to focus on your future, on your dreams, goals, or to focus on creating dreams and goals for yourself. And they are also here to let you know about the great and wonderful things that are awaiting for you in the near future. So again, pay attention to your dreams, okay? Because honestly, I feel like the majority of the dreams that you will be having within the next 7 days are prophetic. So I do recommend keeping a dream journal. Oh, and another awkward insert within an awkward insert. As I was giving out your message, this quote that I had taped up to my wall started falling. And it's, making the simple complicated is commonplace. Making the complicated simple, awesomely simply, that's creativity, by Charles Mingus. So this might be a message for you guys because it was calling my attention. Okay, but that's all. Now let's get back into your reading. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out some messages here. So if you have a question, do keep that question in mind because you might receive an answer through these messages. If you want to receive a message from a specific someone, also do keep them in mind. If it's not someone, this can also be a spirit guide or your higher self, okay? So, let's see for this group. Okay, so we have these ones. Okay, this is my favorite quote from my favorite person, or one of my favorite people. The word happiness is too vague, but I hope you find life worth living every day. And I feel this perfectly sums up this reading. So this is a quote by Kim Hanbin. So I do feel like within the next 7 days, you are going to little by little and slowly but surely find out what are the things that are truly worth living for. And this is kind of reminding me of seeing the little things, acknowledging the little things, and finding happiness in those. It feels like finding your own version of happiness. And like I said, shifting your perception. Okay, but now so I do feel like within the next 7 days, the universe is going to be blessing you. It's going to be sending you some messages, synchronicities that are going to make you smile. So take them, enjoy them. And then see, you are protected. And then we do have, so if you see butterflies and they flutter near you or in front of you, take that as a sign, okay? You see, listen and pay attention to what you are experiencing within these next 7 days, because the universe is showing up in many ways for you. Your spirit guides, your soul family, your soulmates as well. And then you see, oh my goodness, keep moving forward. Perseverance. Keep moving forward. So, do I have to make it any more clear for you guys? Okay, but I will leave these messages here for you to interpret them as you see fit, because these are messages meant for you, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye-bye. Bienvenidos seekers who chose this stone. So in this reading, we are going to find out what will happen or what the energy will be within the next 7 days. And this is a timeless reading, meaning that these messages are valid from whenever you are watching them. For this reading, I will be using El Tarot as well as Oracle cards, and at the very end of the reading, I will pull out some written messages from the note jar. So now let's get into your reading. As I connected with the energy of this group, a few messages did come to mind. It was more like words, and the first one was wing it, which made me think of Wingardium Leviosa from Harry Potter for some reason, and the second word was flight. I also did feel a pang under my right rib. I'm not really sure what that means. Maybe some of you have been feeling discomfort there. But putting the first two messages together, I immediately thought of angels. And I did get this sensation that the energy that was coming through for this group was quite angelic. So if you do connect with angels or archangels, then please know that they are guiding you at this moment. They are protecting you, and they do listen to you and listen to your prayers. If you do not resonate with this angel message, and I keep losing my voice, so maybe some of you have trouble speaking or communicating, or you're having trouble communicating your truth. But if the angel message is not resonating with you, this might denote that some of you are feeling trapped in the situation, are wanting to break free, or are wanting freedom. This might even be wanting some form of independence, and that's what you're aiming for or working on or working to have. Now I'm going to move into the cards. Okay, so the first two tarot cards are the Knight of Arrows, Hawk. This is the Knight of Swords, and we do have a winged creature here. The second card is the Great Bear, which is the Judgment card in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. Ooh, interesting. And to clarify, we have two cards actually fell out for you guys, which are, Faith. What does it say? Like a sunflower believing in the sun. Oh, nice. And then we have Twinkle. The brightest flicker is the heartbeat. Okay? And then we also have the Four of Pentacles, number 27, the dog. And the last two cards are, all the other groups got one card, but two cards fell out for you guys. We have Rise. Oh, and again we have Wings. Okay, interesting. And then we have Wilderness. Okay, I said, because I did receive the word flight, right? And I was getting the sense of rising. And then we do have the Rise card here, so this is only further validation. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so I first have to talk about the Great Bear. Because this one always reminds me of awakenings. Most specifically, like spiritual awakenings. This is an offer from the universe. An opportunity to awaken to something more, or to awaken to your spiritual path, to your spirituality, awaken to your powers, to your magic, or awaken to a new life full of potential and full of magic as well. So whenever a major arcana shows up in a spread, it denotes an energy of a major life lesson or transition in your life. So this is an important phase that you are going through. And for it to show up in a weekly reading, it's kind of magnanimous. And we also have the Rise card that reminds me of that awakening energy, rising to a new beginning, rising to new opportunities, rising to a new version of yourself, a new life. So unlike the other three groups, this group, the energy feels all over the place to me. Like there is so much going on. It feels very sporadic. It almost feels like jumping from one thing to another, moving forwards and backwards. It's like a push and pull energy as well, like leaving something and then coming back to it later. And that's how these next 7 days might feel. Like it's all over the place. Like there's conversations that are left unfinished. There's tasks or projects that are kind of left unfinished. It's like not getting closure. And there is this feeling of feeling rushed within the next 7 days. But I'm mostly getting a sense of like anxiety or overthinking. I just thought of the word procrastination looking at this Four of Pentacles, but it's not necessarily that. It almost feels like having a very perfectionist mentality, that because of this perfectionist mentality, you're afraid of even starting something for the fear of it not ending up perfect. And so that in itself causes you to procrastinate, because the Four of Pentacles talks about holding on to something, not wanting to let it go because you fear losing it once you do let go of it. And so this is kind of giving me this energy of, since you don't even want to bother with that anxiety of fearing losing something, you're not even bothering with the thing itself at all. So, for example, if you have a project to do, let's say you did start it, but then you kind of left it aside, put it on hold, and you have this mentality of, I'll do it later, I'll leave it for later. It's really you kind of delaying the inevitable, like delaying the ending of it or delaying the results of it. Because it's the ending and the results, the part where you let go, that you fear the most. Because in the results is where you will measure whether this is perfect or not. It's in the results whether you will see if this meets your expectations or lives up to your expectations or not. Or it might simply be because there is this struggle with letting go of things, surrendering it. And you might fear endings themselves, because the Great Bear does denote this energy of death, right? It's death and then rebirth. And this Great Bear is offering you to let go and to surrender. And it's in the surrendering where you will be able to awaken to this new life, to this new perception and perspective of life. So it's sort of in the surrendering, in the death, where you become alive. And I feel that is something that you guys might struggle with, surrendering, even might struggle with change, with having faith, because we do have the card faith here. And to let go of something, it requires faith, right? Faith that this will be taken care of, faith that all will turn out well, faith that you will be rewarded at the end. So within these next 7 days, I don't want to say you guys will be tested, but it does feel that way. You will get an opportunity to practice the surrendering, to practice your faith, to strengthen it. And at the end of all of it, you will get to see a twinkle of hope, or a twinkle of light is what I'm getting with this twinkle card. And with the message, the brightest flicker is the heartbeat. This is reminding me of trust. This is about learning to trust the journey and learning to trust yourself. Trusting yourself to do well. Trusting yourself that you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to, that you can achieve success. I just keep getting, this message keeps being repeated in my head. You can do well. You need to trust yourself that you can do well. This is also about having faith in yourself, having faith in your capabilities, in your skills, in your talents. Because this Rise card is also reminding me of triumph and success. It's reaching the top of the mountain. It's seeing that you can make it, that you can take yourself to that top of the mountain. This is also about liberating yourself, liberating yourself from expectations as well. Because I feel like some of you, what has been holding you back is some type of expectation, some type of ideal. Because we do have the Knight of Arrows here. This is air energy, right? So air energy is about the mental realm. And you might tend to be very logical. You might tend to overthink a lot and judge yourself a lot. And it's funny because we have these wings are spread out, right? But then we have this hawk who, is not flying at all, who is not spreading their wings. It's just perched up on this branch. And so it's almost like the hawk has the opportunity to fly to unimaginable heights, but he doesn't do so because he's afraid of not flying. And so because of this fear, he has never tested his wings. So he's kept himself sort of in the same spot for a really long time. And with this wellness card, it's sort of reminding me of a sense of longing, of grieving, of yearning. This is your soul calling out, wanting for more. Because what the wellness card represents is our most wildest self. And that is screaming for you to break free. You are very free-spirited. The archetype of your being is a free-spirited one. It's an adventurous one. But because of these expectations, and you may call them standards, you have imprisoned your soul in a way, and your spirit. You haven't allowed it to fully be, to fly free. And this is a journey about rediscovering and connecting with this part of yourself. And notice we have like bird imagery here, and then we have canine imagery here, dogs. And the dogs always remind me of playfulness, of lightheartedness, and of an energy of adventure as well. You know, like canines, instinctively, they don't have like rules and regulations. You give them an open field and they'll immediately run free. A tamed dog, on the other hand, you know, they have been taught to stay put. And so it's like you have kind of tamed your spirit and your soul to a degree of complacency and passivity. And if this is not you yourself doing this to you, this might be like maybe the environment you have been in has suppressed you. But now it's time to break free. And universe is giving you an opportunity to do that within the next 7 days. And this hawk here, it's talking about seeing from a new perspective, getting a bird's eye view into a situation. So you will get a bird's eye view into your situation within these next 7 days. You might see maybe habits that you have created that have really been holding you back. You might see that your lifestyle or your living situation is not favorable to you. You might see what habits, mentalities, routine, things you have been holding on to that are really not serving you in any positive way. I also see this Four of Pentacles as a comfort zone. You might even start to realize the excuses you have been giving yourself for not trying, for not moving forward, for not exploring further. This is not to say you need to be extroverted or you need to like change yourself, especially if you feel happy where you are at. This is about looking at what is making you unhappy. Where is it in your life that you feel unfulfilled? Because that is a sign from your soul that something needs to change. Change calls out to us. It screams to us. And it's that discomfort we feel within. It's when we start getting antsy. Because that's kind of destiny ringing you up, telling you like, hey, there's something waiting for you. A new chapter is waiting for you. A new life is waiting for you. Do you want to take the call? Do you want to let go of the old in order to embrace the new? You might literally be receiving a call, because the Knight of Arrows does talk about communication or information coming through rather quickly. So within the next 7 days, you might be receiving an important call, important email, text message, DM, or this might be communication coming through person to person that will require for you to make some type of decision. In this call or this communication here, it sort of awakens you to the life that you're living now versus the life that you will be living if you take this offer. Because I feel like whatever this communication that's coming through is something completely different from what you've experienced from any offer you've ever received. It's just out of the box. This might even be a person who comes in and shifts your perspective in a way. A person who might be more like this free spirit and inspires you to explore that side of yourself. And then we do have the bridge here, and it's reminding me of transitions, moving from one place to the other. So there is an opportunity here to create change in your life. But again, you know, the Great Bear here, he's not forcing you. He's just giving you an invitation. Or this might literally be an invitation, maybe an invitation to go out, to meet somebody new, to go somewhere that you haven't been to. And this might be a place that you have maybe fantasized about going or venturing to. Maybe this is a person you wanted to maybe get to know on a deeper level, on a personal level, and you have an opportunity to do so within these next 7 days, but it requires for you to go for it, to trust, to have faith that all will turn out well. And if it doesn't, it's still surrendering to the experience. Because if we continue to live on the what ifs, you will miss out on a lot of experiences. And it is through the experiences that we learn and we evolve and we grow. And we get to learn more about ourselves, because it is through experiences that we see new versions, aspects of ourselves. And it doesn't have to be something overly dramatic, you know, like a major event, or, you know, like moving to a new country or eloping. This can be as simply as, you know, maybe adopting a furry friend. Maybe that's something that you always wanted as a kid, but your parents never allowed you to, or you couldn't have a furry friend when you were a child. And as an adult, you made up excuses to not adopt or get a furry friend of your own. And maybe it's because you fear that it's not going to meet your expectations, or maybe the excuses or the rules of your parents, you kind of held on to those, and that's what is limiting you. But maybe you get an opportunity here to adopt a furry friend. Maybe a friend of yours calls you up and says like, hey, I have puppies that need a new home. Would you like to adopt one? And then you're left on the other side thinking, oh, should I or should I not? If I do adopt a furry friend, it's going to be life-changing, you know? I'm going to have to tend and care for another living being. It's going to be a lot of responsibility. Do I want that? Am I up for that? Am I ready for that? And this is about you deciding whether you are or not, whether you want to give in to fears or assumptions about what you're capable of, or you want to give yourself a try and know that, yes, you are going to be able to take care of this living being. Again, this is just an example, right? This could be your case, but it doesn't have to be. I was just trying to give an example to this situation. But I definitely see you receiving some type of offer, some type of communication that will guide you to see your situation in a new perspective, that will then guide you towards an opportunity for an awakening, for a drastic change in your life. Simply in your way of perceiving things and in your way of living. And if you do take this opportunity, I see a sense of liberation. And this is also about learning to have faith in your journey, have faith in yourself. And for those of you who are on a spiritual journey already, this is about strengthening your faith in God, universe, the divine timing, whatever it may be. And also learning to surrender, to let go, to trust. And it definitely feels like a wake-up call. Birds might be pretty significant for you at this time, as well as dogs or canines. They might come through as symbols, trying to deliver some type of message for you, or they might play an active role during these 7 days. And the dog here does remind me of like a spirit guide So like I did mention, I felt like an angelic vibe at the beginning, and I do feel like you have a very specific spirit guide or guardian angel who is very close to you, who is looking after you at all times, and they feel very gentle, very playful, very compassionate. So whenever universe comes through with very like hardcore lessons, this angel tries to lessen the difficulty of the lesson for you. Like, they are your defenders and your number one supporters, because they know how much you have gone through. They know what you go through. They understand you. They truly see you, and they have much compassion for you. And so they don't want you to feel like you're being put on the spotlight, or like they don't want you to feel pressured. So that's why I say this is an offer here. This is an invitation. It's not being forced upon you. It's not a tower moment. So see what offers come up, what new events, new things come up within these next 7 days, and notice how you respond or react to them. And notice where these reactions are coming from. Are they coming from a space of fear? Is it because they threaten your belief system or this bubble that you have created for yourself? It threatens your excuses. I'm getting the word excuses, but again, these can come from fears, they can come from traumas, and sometimes they're even subconscious. Sometimes we don't realize that our way of reacting to things is coming from a subconscious fear or a subconscious trauma. So this is simply about becoming aware to it. And again, this is only if you feel this sense of lack of fulfillment, only if you feel like there is something missing. Pay attention to that feeling and see where it's coming from, and see in what aspect of your life it's referring to. And with this Rise card, please know that if you decide to embark on a new adventure, you will be triumphant. You will be victorious. Okay, but that's all I have for the cards. Now I'm going to pull out the messages. If you have a question, please do keep that question in mind, because you might receive an answer through these messages. If you want to receive a message from a specific person, then do keep that person in mind. And if it's not a person you want to hear from, you can also receive messages from your spirit guide or higher self. So place your intention of who you want to hear from. Now I'm going to pull out messages. So we have these ones. And I'm gonna take those two. So for your first message is you're doing well. For your second message, we have not yet. We have for the seed, growth is growth, whether it be roots, the stem, or a single leaf. Okay? And then we have grow infinitely, for you are limitless. And for your last message, we have keep moving forward. Okay? So those are all the messages I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye bye.